Imagine that you and your colleagues are in a boat, paddling down a furious river. Everywhere you look, you are surrounded by treacherous rocks. All you can do is hope and wish and pray that you can stay afloat. That's what it seemed like when we were going through this unpredictable, uncontrollable COVID pandemic. Having been through a global pandemic of this sort is no small feat. The fact that you're here today speaks to your tenacity and drive. However, the problems that we as business owners and leaders are facing, things like employee engagement, attrition, supply chain issues, will not be eliminated by the vaccine or the go-ahead from the CDC. They, along with COVID, are part of a condition that Peter Vail describes as permanent whitewater. Permanent whitewater conditions are full of surprises. They cause organizations and teams to continually face things that they had never faced before and live through uncertain circumstances.
Now we're in a state of permanent whitewater where there are no breaks, there's no normal, and we're just ricocheting down the river going from rock to rock. One of the things that happens with permanent whitewater is that your time to respond and your time to react and your time to so-called manage change is much less than it has been in the past. And further, the amount of resources it takes makes it so in a lot of cases, if you get hit with enough things, you can't recover. And history is littered with examples of really successful companies who, failed to see the changes that were coming, and as a result were washed over by them.
Permanent whitewater in business is filled with compression, where cycles move quickly and products are commoditized or even made obsolete. You and your people, your partners, bump into one another trying to catch up. Internet clutter detracts and confuses your customers and your potential market. Capturing their attention has never been a greater challenge, and consumers who are trying to cope with all this are quick to dismiss options that might otherwise be very good for them. Global competition appears in less than a nanosecond. Suddenly, competitive advantage that you've had for years disappears. Talent is difficult to attract. And if you succeed in attracting it, how do you retain it?
You've got to be astute in this global competitive world. Then you need your brand to last longer. But that also means you're going to have to migrate your brand too, because the complex things that go into competition are going to change. Plus, the consumer has much greater access to who's out there and who's providing products and services in your field. So you get this almost angst among the consumers that they're down to spending 3 to 7 seconds on a website, and they determine whether they want to look at that website or move forward. So you need to really, really understand your brand life and how it's going to change over time.
Getting ahead of change is business beyond the turbulent, permanent whitewater we're experiencing today. Business whitewater is business beyond the comfort zone. The question is, how do you get ahead of all this change? Some people call it change management, but in reality, there is no such thing as managing change. You have one of two choices. You can either get ahead of change, or you can get caught by change. And if you're putting out fires, guess what? How do you navigate? How do you lead and manage people in permanent whitewater to grow and sustain your business?
Authenticity is the only way to really be a consistent and solid, positive role model for your teams. It gives people confidence, gives them the freedom to be authentic to themselves. But the only way to get there is through self-awareness, diving in deep, finding out those deepest parts of yourself. If we're a grump, we're going to attract situations that make us feel grumpy. If we're worried a lot, worried about change, for example, worried about, are we going to get enough clients? Are we going to make the profits? If there's a lot of worry going on, we're going to attract more things and situations to make us worry more. That's why positive thinking is so popular. And by the way, scientists has proven that visualization, positive thinking, a positive mindset and mood is contagious. And that positive thinking absolutely changes your environment and your life, your world, the world around you. So the more we can work on positive outlook and feel it, really believe it, and express gratitude. If you make that a practice in the workplace, make no mistake, it will absolutely impact bottom line results.
The key is to become a change innovator. Change innovation is a process. It focuses on 5 important areas of your business. Your strategy. In other words, the value that you create for your target market. Is it clear? Is it current? Are you developing capabilities that are distinctly and uniquely yours?
Strategy is really about the market. It's about the customer and how we're creating value.
Your culture. How does the internal environment of your organization, developed by your people over time, connect with your brand promise?
Most change efforts fail because people don't take culture and humans into account.
Leadership. Do your leaders have the ability to guide and inspire people to perform according to your company's mission, vision, and grand strategy?
When people feel seen and recognized and honored for who they are and what their talents are and what their contributions are, engagement is going to skyrocket.
Innovation. Are you able to renew, reinvent, and elevate the value that you create for the changing wants and needs of your customers?
The best ideas for innovation come from, generally speaking, not always, a combination of what senior management sees as the perspective of the company for the future, but also in conversation with those employees closest to the customers and the customers themselves.
Learning. Do you have a learning system within your organization that supports the knowledge, mindset, and skill sets required as you innovate into your future?
Constantly trying, learning, trying again. That's got to be the process. You can make mistakes as long as they're new mistakes. Where we get in trouble is we keep making the same mistake over and over again.
We call this the integration of human and strategic performance. This custom collaborative process, unique to your organization, focuses simultaneously on the 5 areas of change innovation that we have discussed. As a result, what happens then is best described in the pages of Blue Ocean Strategy. You make the competition irrelevant because you create a leap in value for buyers and your company, thereby moving forward ahead of the competition, forward ahead of change, and opening up new and uncontested market space for your business. All this enables you to build sustainable, profitable, strategic advantage back into your organization. What we do is partner with clients in change. We work with them in the 5 important areas of change innovation, synchronizing their teams, systems, and strategies so that they have sustainable, high-performing profitability.
Don't plug into trends. Innovate what your clients need in the future. Understand who they are, what they are. Do focus groups, talk to them, and I will guarantee you, your employees and your organization will have more ideas about how to do that.
Don't follow trends. Rather, aim for what the world needs tomorrow and innovate.